Today we're diving into the Technicolor train wreck that is Democrat Rep. LaMonica MacGyver turning a Newark, New Jersey ICE detention facility into her personal Thunderdome. This isn't just a story, it's a 5-alarm, star-spangled catastrophe. First off, let's call this what it is. It's a political stunt so blatant that it might as well have been scripted by a reality TV producer with a cocaine problem. MacGyver and her merry band of blue team intellectual smurfs, Bonnie Watson Coleman, Rob Menendez Jr., and Newark's own mayor, Ross Baraka, rolled up to the Delaney Hall Detention Center on May 9, 2025, like they were staging a remake of the Broadway hit Occupy Wall Street, but without the ballet-like choreography that Antifa is so famous for. Their mission: to inspect a facility holding what the Trump admin says are MS-13 gangbangers and the worst of the worst foreign criminals whose hands these blue team intellectual smurfs would love to shake, except for the fact that the vicious ICE agents are protecting them, and you out there, from getting shanked instead. Let's be real, MacGyver wasn't there to check on the plumbing. She was there to grandstand, to flex her congressional badge and free the viciously and dearly oppressed gang members, because apparently that's a better use of her time than, I don't know, maybe lifting a single finger to help American hostages held by her beloved pals over at Hamas in Gaza, who she no doubt supports, at least deeply in her heart. No energy for that, but storming an ice gate to spring cartel foot shoulders, that's my gig, baby. It's as though the Democrats have a fetish for anyone who has a rap sheet, at least more than one line long, and a non-US passport. That, my friends, is a requirement. Now, to be fair, I have in my life not once seen an overweight black woman misbehave or shout their grievances at the sky in my life, save maybe every single Black Friday at Walmart, the latest when my favorite Aunt Shaniqua body checked the cashier to grab the last discounted air fryer. But there is MacGyver in her cherry red blazer that screams, "Protagonist me. Spotlight, please." And this lit up Christmas tree is shoving ICE agents, putting hands on them, punching them. The DHS body cam footage, it's kind of a masterpiece. She's barreling through federal officers, elbowing and pushing like she's a linebacker blitzing, trying to get to the quarterback, a Lawrence Taylor special. And this woman, she has some heft on her. Seriously, we're talking about a potential NFL first-round pick here. Scouts, please look at the tape. And she's moving with the kind of dynamic force that says, I'm not here to talk, I'm here to dominate. But we have to call the game fairly, people, and impartially. Yellow flag, unnecessary roughness, illegal use of hands, 15 yards, and a one-way ticket to the penitentiary. And let's talk about that footage, because it's damning. DHS says she body slammed a female ICE agent. And while MacGyver's out here on CNN whining that she doesn't know how to body slam anyone,
there's no video that supports me body slamming anyone.
The video shows her plowing through the ICE agents like a human wrecking ball. This wasn't a polite nudge. This was assault, plain and simple. And here's the kicker. Her actions were way more egregious than 98% of the January 6th protesters who never laid hands on anyone. Those folks got slapped with federal charges for way less, some for just waving an American flag, which I understand is offensive to the blue team, or taking a selfie in the Capitol, or even walking through the Capitol for a few minutes, hours after the event took place, and then leaving and finding months later the FBI at their doorstep and spending 2 years in prison. But MacGyver? Oh no, that doesn't apply to her because why? She has that magical D next to her name. So the law does not apply. She's out there assaulting federal agents, turning a congressional visit into a street brawl while she's throwing up gang signs. And somehow she's the victim? Spare me, please. No one is above the law. That is the mantra that we were fed over and over again when they were presenting their ill-conceived case and made up against Donald Trump. And that applies to everyone. No one is above the law. Oh, no, that's not true. Because if you're a Democrat, you get a pass. In which case, the law, my friends, is more like a suggestion, like flossing or tipping your barista. And let's not skip the sheer galaxy brain stupidity of her wardrobe choice. I mean, who shows up at a potential riot in a bright red cherry outfit that screams, "Look at me, everybody"? Everyone else is in drab grays and blues, blending into the Newark gloom. But MacGyver's out here dressed like a fire truck at a frickin' funeral. If she wanted to obfuscate her actions, maybe don't wear the equivalent of a neon sign that says, "Hi, I'm the one shoving cops." Her intelligence is already in question for thinking that she could storm an ICE facility and come out smelling like roses with that red blazer. It's like she wanted to be the star of the body cam footage. Mission accomplished, I guess. And here, my friends, is where it gets just a tad bit juicy. This wasn't just a bad day at the office. MacGyver's actions have, shall we say, consequences, or at least they should. DHS is talking arrests, and Alina Habba, interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, is on X saying Baraka got cuffed for trespassing, and there's more to come. If they've got more footage of MacGyver playing human bulldozer, and trust me, they do, she's about to trade that red blazer for an orange striped jumpsuit. The kind that comes with a bunk bed and a roommate named Big Tina, or in Democrat cases, Big Melvin, because you know how they love trans woman. Congresswoman to convict. Hey, now that is kind of a plot twist. The ex-posts are a fever dream of reactions. Some users are calling her a DEI hire. I concur, of course. Others are saying that she's fighting for criminal illegals over Americans, which is verifiably true. Another is screaming for her to be expelled from Congress. And I 100% agree, because just imagine if this was a Republican who had laid hands on federal officers in front of a Planned Parenthood clinic, how in unison about his dastardly actions and imminent expulsion, needed expulsion, and how evil he is. Meanwhile, her defenders are out there saying that she was merely standing up for justice. But standing up for justice doesn't mean body-checking feds while protesters chant and an ICE bus that is carrying the worst of the worst gets mobbed. This wasn't oversight. It was a political clown show. And MacGyver appears to be the ringmaster, or at least self-appointed by that red blazer. In the end, my friends, this is America 2025, a congresswoman acting like she's in a gang turf war, a mayor getting hauled in cuffs, and a nation tearing itself apart while the truth gets buried under a pile of spin by the blue team's bought-off corporate media. But hey, LaMonica MacGyver, you might be able to beat up most men, credit given. You prove you belong in the octagon. But if you want to shove people around, then join the ranks of the USC and get paid for it. But you did it in the wrong place at the wrong time. So let me remind your fat ass one more time. No one is above the law. That ought to give you something to chew on in the pen.